I am Brian Grayler. I'm with Personal Assistance Services, your employee assistance program. Today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. First, I'm going to talk about regulated check-ins. The state has passed a law, actually in August of 2021, that requires every peace officer to attend a mental wellness check-in every 3 to 5 years. So this is the program that the county has put together. It's not necessarily therapy, it's a meeting with a mental wellness or mental health professional who will talk to you about services that are available to you. But if you don't need it, that's fine, but you may have a colleague who does need it. So be supportive of the program, be supportive of your colleagues for the program. So this is the statute. I'll point out a few things in this. As I said, it applies to all peace officers. We're kicking off the program with the chiefs and the top officers at the beginning of April. So they're going to go first. It's required every 3 to 5 years. It's noted in here that all services are privileged. They're actually completely confidential, and there's nothing for us to share. You'll see in a few moments that the only thing we're sharing is your compliance. So did you attend the meeting? That's the extent of what we're sharing. Anything you say in that meeting is completely confidential and we would not share. So why mental wellness is important? First of all, you have a hard job. I don't need to tell you that. You work with people who are often in crisis. You work with people who are hostile sometimes. And you take that home to your families. If you're dealing with an accident with a teen driver and your teenager is starting to drive, you're going to be a little more intense than other parents would be. In addition to that, the nature of your job impacts the fight or flight syndrome. So you're trained to keep control in a stressful situation, control your emotions. And a lot of times people think, well, I shouldn't need to go talk to a counselor. So this is an opportunity for you to talk to a counselor, find out what it's like, cover some of the stressors you might not think about, and be better officers for yourself, your family, and the community. The process for this is each quarter, Human Resources will randomly choose among the 4 departments. So that's sheriff, police, corrections, and prosecuting attorney's office. And they will let a representative of each department know which names have been chosen. And that representative will reach out to you. You'll have 1 month to contact PAS and schedule a virtual check-in. When you make that appointment, we will send you a release of information. I'll get that in a moment. So here are your department contacts for the program. These may change over the next several years based on promotions or whatever, but right now these are the folks that you will hear from. And this is the release of information. So I'll point out a couple of things here. This release covers 2 situations. One is whether or not you actually attended the session. The other is if you sign this release and then you later retract it, we can tell those 2 pieces of information to your department head or to Debbie Moore in HR. That's all we share. So like I said, it's confidential. Whatever you say to the counselor is private between you and that counselor. And there are no notes taken, so there's nothing to share. Wellness check-ins are completely confidential. We have evening and weekend appointments available. It's important to note that they're 30 to 45 minutes. It's not time for psychotherapy. It's not time for a full assessment anyway, so it's not psychotherapy. We only report whether or not you attend, and it is virtual. Now, it's important to note that I'm going to talk in the second segment of this presentation about EAP services you already have. So the check-ins are virtual, they're 30 to 45 minutes, but if you want to talk to a counselor face-to-face, you absolutely can do that as part of your already existing employee assistance program. I did have one question from an earlier session, and that is, if I'm already in counseling, do I have to complete this? And we really want to treat them as separate programs. So it's really just easier if you're already in counseling for you to do the 45-minute check-in. In that situation, you can probably tell the counselor, yeah, I'm already in counseling, if you want to divulge that information. You don't have to. All right, and with that, if there are no other questions, and by the way, if you have a personal question that you don't want to ask in a room full of people, call our 800 number and we can talk to you about, we can answer your question. So I'm going to talk about your employee assistance program, which every employee of the county has. It's not necessarily associated with that, but I want to spend a few minutes just letting you know what you have available. It's for you and your families, and it's free and it's confidential, so it's a good program. It is a free program prepaid by the county. It is not associated with health insurance. You do not have to sign up for it when you sign up for benefits. You or a family member just need to call us and say, I work for the county, my mom works for the county, my dad works for the county, spouse works for the county, and you're covered. There's no more verification than that. It's completely confidential, and it covers you, your spouse or partner, anybody living in your household, and any dependent up to the age of 26 living outside of the household. It's worth noting that we're a national program, so if you have a young adult who's going to college in another state and they need face-to-face counseling, they're in Minnesota, Colorado, somewhere else, we still can provide those services to them. You can call our 800 number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you call, you'll talk to a master's level counselor. That master's level counselor will take a little bit of demographic information from you. Where do you live? What's your phone number? And they may ask if you're in crisis. Because you are a first responder, please tell us when you first call that you're a first responder, because we will more quickly direct you to a counselor who's experienced with first responders. Your jobs are a little bit different, so a little bit more training is needed on our part. So we will make sure we get you to somebody who has training. From there, that counselor is just going to talk to you about what's going on. There's no script, there's no timeline. They're just going to say, hey, why did you call today? They're going to help you arrange counseling if you need counseling. Counseling takes the form of short-term solution focused. So that means that we're not going to count specific numbers of sessions. We're going to focus on when you're reaching your goals or how you're reaching your goals. As long as you're working towards a goal, you can continue on with counseling. Occasionally, somebody will call us and they'll need specialized care or they'll need facility-based care. And in those situations, we will help that person access their medical benefits. But that doesn't happen very often. Over 90% of people who call us stay within the EAP. We also have life management services available and well-being coaching available, as well as a web portal. I'll share a little bit more with life event services. These are all services that you have available to you. So we have financial consultation, legal consultation. These are free services. If you want to download a will, you can go to our website, download a will, print it out, and have it notarized, and you have a simple will. If you have questions during that process, you get a 1-hour free consultation with an attorney. So you can call and talk to the attorney and ask them questions about your will. We also have elder care, child care services available to you and your family. And often our counselors will combine services. So the example I always use is, what if I call for relationship advice? I need couples counseling. Well, they'll talk about what's going on with me and my spouse and then say, okay, well, it sounds like you need couples counseling, we'll help set that up, but it also sounds like you're fighting about the kids, and we have parenting consultation. Or you're fighting about money, and we have financial consultation. So they might suggest these in addition to those other services. You can connect with our website, create your own individual portal at mypaseap.com. To create your portal, you'll need that code, St. Charles County. That's ST, no period, space, Charles, space, county. And that portal is completely HIPAA compliant, and any member of your family can have their own individual portal. From there, you can access any of our services. You can schedule online. You can access legal financial services. You can also access our M-Life mindfulness program. And so M-Life is mindfulness. It's an app that you can load on your phone. You can sign up for daily 15-minute mindfulness programs, or you can access on-demand services. Again, free to you and your family. It's the same code to sign up for those services, St. Charles County. Finally, there are many ways that you can call us. They're all confidential. You can call 24 hours a day if you have a family member who's going through any difficulties. Please have them call us. We can help them. You can also, if you don't have privacy or don't have time to make a phone call, you can chat with us 9 to 5 Central, or you can text us 9 to 5 Central. All of those different ways of contacting us reach a master's level counselor who can walk you through programs. And then finally, if you have just a general question, you can email us and we'll respond within 24 hours. All right, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your service. If you have questions, like I said, that you want to ask that are of personal nature, please call the 800 number and we can answer those questions.
I hope that this serves as a conversation, a much larger conversation. Obviously, the way we're doing this with the virtual component, it's not lost on me that this just kind of feels like we're going to tick the box, right? We're going to do what we need to meet the statutory requirement. But with that, I think there's an opportunity to make this a much larger resource for people. So even if you're one of those cops that doesn't, this is not for you, and that you're more of a, you go through something, you kind of rub some dirt on it and get through it. Think about your family. Think about, like what Brian said, this is available to your spouse, your kids. If you've gone through a critical incident and obviously they are aware of what you went through and they start having some issues with that, then this is available to them in ways. So think about that for them. So thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. If you have questions, you can always give it to me offline, or like said, Sergeant Blaze is going to be kind of leading the charge on it. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.